Assalamualaikum and greetings, Prof. In this video, we will be presenting a corporate cybersecurity review on the company we have chosen, Microsoft Corporation. Before that, I would like to introduce to our team, which consists of 5 members, ALLISYA AMIRAH, SABRINA, AFIQAH, ISMAHANI, and myself, ALEYAH. With the advancement of Industry Revolution 4.0, organizations are becoming increasingly dependent on digital technologies. However, this is also increased cybersecurity risks such as the ransomware, espionage, and software attacks, making cybersecurity a critical governance issue. Microsoft was selected for this review because it is a global technology leader that handles massive volume of user and enterprise data, and the cybersecurity failure could lead to financial loss, reputational damage, and loss of the customer trust. Therefore, strong governance and policies are essential for the long-term sustainability. The purpose of this review is to evaluate the effectiveness of Microsoft cybersecurity governance and the policy framework, including how risks are managed and the role of top management. This study used qualitative document analysis based on sources such as Microsoft Annual Report and Digital Defense Report by Microsoft itself.
Thank you, Aliyah. So, hi and Assalamualaikum to Prof. Melissa. My name is AMIRAH AFIQAH binti Muhammad SARONI, and my student number is 2023448784. And now I will explain about the Microsoft company overview and cybersecurity governance framework adopted in Microsoft. When people think of Microsoft, they often think of Windows or Office. However, Microsoft today is a global technology leader in software, cloud computing, and artificial intelligence, such as Copilot. The company's mission is to empower every person and organization on this planet to achieve more by providing secure, reliable, and ethical digital technologies. Because Microsoft operations rely heavily on cloud system, AI, and global digital infrastructure, and strong cybersecurity and effective risk management are very essential to ensure trust, business continuity, and stable global operation. In today's digital world, cyber attacks are no longer rare. They are constant and increasingly sophisticated. For global technology company like Microsoft, cybersecurity is not just an IT issue, but a core business priority. Microsoft Cloud Services and digital platforms support millions of users worldwide, which means any security breach can directly affect customer trust and business operation. Cybersecurity plays a crucial role in protecting sensitive customer data, maintaining trust, and safeguarding the company's reputation. Most importantly, strong cybersecurity ensures business continuity, which allowing Microsoft services to operate securely, reliably, and without disruption. Microsoft Corporation implements cybersecurity policies and standards to protect customer digital system and data. Cybersecurity governance is managed through the Microsoft Security Program, or MSP, which ensures security policies and standards are applied consistently across the organization. This governance is supported by regulatory and compliance frameworks and aligned with international standards such as ISO or IEC 27001, ensuring strong and effective cybersecurity practices. In Microsoft Corporation, cybersecurity responsibilities are shared across multiple levels of the organization. The Board of Directors oversees overall risk management, including cybersecurity, by reviewing regular reports on security risks and implemented controls. The Audit Committee received updates from the Chief Information Security Officer, or CISO, on the prevention, detection, and response to cybersecurity incidents. The CISO leads cybersecurity strategy, risk assessment, and security operation, while all employees support this effort through training and awareness to maintaining a strong security culture. According to Microsoft in 2024, risk management is the process of identifying, evaluating, and responding to risks or incidents that may affect business or customer objectives. Microsoft Risk Management Strategy focuses on identifying emerging risks while maintaining continuous security for its cloud system and users. These practices are aligned with the Enterprise Risk Management, or ERM, framework, which works across the organization to manage major risks and ensure accountability. Through ongoing monitoring and the use of multiple security control, Microsoft is able to reduce cybersecurity risks and maintain system stability.
Hi Prof, my name is NURUL and ISMAHANI BTM RIDZUAN, and next I will explain about Microsoft past cyber incident. In July 2025, Microsoft experienced a cybersecurity attack involving a zero-day vulnerability in its on-premises SharePoint server. A zero-day exploit refers to a security weaknesses that is unknown and unpatched at the time of attack. Through this vulnerability, attackers gain unauthorized access to vulnerable servers and were able to execute malicious code. These pose a serious risk because on-premises SharePoint servers, it often stores sensitive organizational and client data. However, Microsoft confirmed that SharePoint Online was not affected. Organizations such as businesses, government agencies, and also educational institutions using outdated SharePoint versions were the most impacted. The incident could lead to data breaches, system compromise, and also service disruptions, which highlights the importance of timely patching and also strong cybersecurity controls. Next, I will explain about Microsoft response strategy and communication approach following the SharePoint zero-day incident in July 2025. After confirming the active exploitation, Microsoft responded quickly through the Microsoft Security Response Center or MSRC block. The company released official security guidance addressing the identified vulnerabilities known as this and also this, and also provided security updates for all supported on-premises SharePoint versions. In addition to the releasing patches, Microsoft also recommended several mitigation measures. These including upgrading the SharePoint versions, ensuring the anti-malware scan interface or AMSI was enabled, using Microsoft Defender for endpoint, and also changing the ASP.NET machine case to prevent further misuse. For communication, Microsoft mainly used the official MSRC blog as a central platform to continuously update customers and also stakeholders, ensuring the timely and transparent information sharing.
Hi, my name is SABRINA BINTI HASBULLAH. I will continue with the next presentation. While incident response strategies are vital in reducing the impact of the cyber attacks, transparency in disclosing the incident is equally important in rebuilding the customer trust and public confidence. This is particularly relevant for large technology companies such as Microsoft that manage the highly sensitive customer data. According to the Microsoft Digital Defense Report 2024, Microsoft highlights that providing clear and timely cybersecurity information to the customer and the stakeholders is part of their cybersecurity governance responsibility. However, the adequacy of this transparency remains questionable, as incident disclosure are often presented in the general terms and focus more on the global trade trends rather than the direct impact on the affected customers or the organizations. The lack of incident-specific information, such as the scope of the data exposures, limits the stakeholders' ability to assess their actual risk. External criticism, including calls for investigation by the US senators, further raise concern over Microsoft's accountability and communication practices, indicating the need for clear and more detailed incident disclosures.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. I'm ALLISYA AMIRAH, student 2023884438. So I'm pretty sure all of us have used Microsoft, right? Especially for us as a students, we use Word, PowerPoint, Outlook, Teams. Microsoft is everywhere. And because of Microsoft is everywhere, humans become the biggest cybersecurity risk. According to the Microsoft Digital Defense 2024 reports, many cyber attacks don't break system. They break people. Phishing, fake emails, identity theft, all target human behavior. That's why Microsoft treats cybersecurity as a shared responsibility, not just an IT problem. Through the Secure Future Initiative, SFI, every employee is expected to think securely, from developers to managers, especially to increase the employee training and awareness. Microsoft also focuses strongly on identity protection. Employees are trained to recognize phishing, protect credentials, and follow secure access practice. Microsoft also enforces phishing-resistant multifunction authentication, which means security is not only taught, it is enforced. This is a strong approach. However, one limitation is that Microsoft does not publicly disclose detailed metrics on how effective this training is. And with AI-generated phishing becoming more advanced, awareness training must continuously evolve. Overall, Microsoft shows a mature understanding that technology alone is not enough. People matter.
Although the cybersecurity training aims to reduce human errors, its effectiveness remains questionable as identity-based attacks such as phishing and identity theft continue to occur. The Microsoft Digital Defense Report 2024 confirms that these attacks remain a serious threat. In response, Microsoft adopted a zero-trust approach focusing on the least privileged access and continuous monitoring. However, the lack of public metrics raised concern about the transparency and effectiveness of insider threat mitigations.
Now, let's take a look on something that is more personal. It's our data. When we use Microsoft products, we are not just using software. We are trusting Microsoft with our personal information, our academic work, and even business data. Microsoft emphasizes ethical data handling and privacy protection as a core value. This includes the data minimization, strong access control, and also the protection of user identity. So, what is the most important thing here is that Microsoft goes beyond technical security. The ethical handling of data builds trust, and trust is very, very critical in cybersecurity. However, ethical challenges are becoming more complex, especially with the increasing the use of AI and large scales of data analytics. Microsoft must continuously balance the innovation responsibility. Overall, Microsoft demonstrates a strong commitment to privacy and ethical accountability with strength of the stakeholders' confidence.
Alright, let's proceed with section 6.1, Readiness for Emerging Threats with me, ALLISYA AMIRAH.
Cybersecurity is not about today. Cybersecurity is about tomorrow. Microsoft recognized that cyber threats are evolving rapidly. Today, attacks use AI-generated phishing, impersonation, and ransomware as a service. The Digital Defense Report shows that Microsoft make a proactive approach using the threat intelligence to anticipate future attacks rather than reacting after the damage is done. Microsoft also acknowledged the long-term risks such as quantum computing, which could potentially break the traditional encryption. This forward-looking mindset positions Microsoft as an industry leader in preparing the emerging cyber threats. Let's take a look on how Microsoft invests in cybersecurity technology. Microsoft adopts the Zero Trust model, which means no user or device is trusted by default even inside the network. The company also uses the AI and automation to detect the threats faster and respond more effectively. However, Microsoft uses the technology alone does not guarantee the security. Strong governance and proper implementation is as important. This shows that Microsoft cybersecurity investments are strategic, not just in specific tools, but part of a well-governed security ecosystem. So yeah, want to know more about this? Let's move to the next section. Let's go!
Next, I will discuss the benchmark comparison between Microsoft and also its industry competitor Google in terms of cybersecurity practices. Microsoft adopts a threat intelligence-driven approach, analyzing large volumes of global threat data to detect attacks early. The company strongly implements the Zero Trust model, supported by principles such as secure by design, secure by default, and secure by operation across its platforms like Windows, Azure, and also Microsoft 365. In comparison, Google focuses mainly on cloud-based security through its secure by design infrastructure and the Beyond Corp Zero Trust model, where every access request is continuously verified. Google also relies heavily on encryption and also AI-driven threat detection. Overall, Microsoft is stronger in enterprise governance and integrated security platforms, while Google excels in cloud-native and AI-focused security solutions. Next, I will explain about section 7.2, which presents a SWOT analysis of Microsoft and Google in terms of its cybersecurity. In terms of strength, Microsoft has a strong enterprise-focused security ecosystem. Its cybersecurity is integrated across platforms such as Windows, Azure, and Microsoft 365, supported by the Zero Trust model, making it suitable for large organizations and government sectors. In comparison, Google's strength lies in its cloud-native and AI-driven security with strong encryption and real-time threat detection. For weaknesses, Microsoft security solutions can be complex and costly for small and medium-sized organizations, while Google is relatively weaker in enterprise governance and endpoint security. Looking at the opportunities, both companies could benefit from the increasing demand for cloud security and AI-based threat detection. However, the threats include increasingly sophisticated cyber attacks, especially AI-enabled phishing, ransomware, and identity-based attacks. In addition, both companies face strong competition from other cybersecurity providers and growing pressure from global data privacy regulations, which increase compliance risks and also potential reputational damage. Next, we'll move on to the next part.
For this session, I will present my critical evaluation and personal reflection on Microsoft cybersecurity practices. Firstly, in terms of strength, Microsoft performed well by implementing the Zero Trust approach, which follows the principle of never trust and always verify. This ensures that users must go through strong authentication and access control before accessing system or any data. As a result, Microsoft is able to detect and respond to cyber threat effectively. However, there are still areas that need improvement. Microsoft should continuously address both technical and human vulnerabilities within the organization. In addition, improving global customer communication and awareness is important to ensure users understand cybersecurity risks and take appropriate actions. From a personal reflection, if I were a hacker, I would target user behavior and human weaknesses. These include weak or reused password and phishing attack through the free emails or login requests. Once a single account is compromised, attackers might gain access to multiple services such as email, OneDrive, Teams, and Azure.
Microsoft demonstrates a high level of maturity in cybersecurity governance, particularly through Zero Trust and the Secure Future Initiative (SFI) and Threat Intelligence-Driven Security. From a technological and structural perspective, Microsoft is well prepared to manage a large-scale cyber risk. However, critical weaknesses remain in human factors and transparency. Despite continuous training, human-based attacks such as phishing still occur, and generalized incident disclosure limits the ability to assess real risk. Therefore, Microsoft should improve transparency by clearly communicating the scope and impact of the incidents, introduce measurable metrics to evaluate training effectiveness, and strengthen the adaptive controls and behavioral monitoring to address future threats such as AI-driven attacks and identity fraud.
That's all from us. Thank you for watching.